I was guiding a wine tour in Tuscany. An American couple was on the tour, and the man kept interrupting my explanation of the Chianti, Classico traditions, in Napa. We've perfected this. We use better oak barrels, computer-controlled fermentation. You guys are still doing it the old-fashioned way. Have you ever thought about upgrading? I tried to explain that the old-fashioned way is the entire point of the tradition. He just shook his head and muttered to his wife, "Such a shame. This place could be a real gold mine if they just adopted some American innovation." My company transferred an American manager, Brad, to our Dublin office. For his first team meeting, he announced a new motivational framework. He said, "All right, team, we're going to start every day with the Pledge of Allegiance. It builds unity and focus." There was a dead silence before our Irish team lead. Fiona finally spoke up. "Brad, with all due respect, we are an Irish team in Ireland. We will not be pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States." Brad was genuinely baffled, replying, "But it's a pledge about freedom. It's universal." "Why wouldn't you want to say it?" An American exchange student living in my dorm in Japan came to me completely distraught, holding an electricity bill. "I can't read this. It's all in Japanese. How am I supposed to pay it? Don't they have an English version?" I explained that she was in Japan, so official documents are in Japanese. She replied, "This is so unprofessional. They know foreigners live here. In America, we have options for Spanish. They should have a press one for English option for their bills." I was working the front desk at a hotel in Queenstown, New Zealand. An American family came to check out, and the father was furious. "I want to dispute this charge for parking. It's outrageous," I explained the nightly fee. He slammed his hand on the counter. "In the States, parking at a hotel is almost always free. It's an included amenity like the ice machine. You guys are just trying to rip off tourists." This would never happen in a Marriott in Ohio. At a cooking class in Thailand, we were learning to make green curry. The instructor explained the importance of balancing sweet, sour, salty, and spicy flavors. An American woman kept adding spoonful after spoonful of sugar to her dish. The instructor said, "Madame, that will be too sweet." She waved him off. "Oh no, this is how we like it back home. Your version is a little aggressive. You should really consider making a milder version for tourists." My friend is a historian who gives tours of the Normandy D-Day beaches. He said an American tourist once asked him, "This is all very impressive. But where is the monument for the winners?" My friend said, "Sir, this entire coastline is a memorial to the Allied soldiers who fought and died here." The tourist replied, "No, I get that, but where's the big statue of America? We were the heroes who won the war." I was on a train in Switzerland going through the Alps. The scenery was breathtaking. An American man across the aisle was on his phone, talking loudly. "Yeah, it's nice, I guess. A lot of mountains, kind of like Colorado, but the peaks are too pointy. Their trains are way too quiet, unnerving in the US. You hear the train coming? It's a powerful sound. This feels flimsy." He then spent 10 minutes complaining that the train didn't have a dedicated bar car like Amtrak. I worked at a university library in the UK. An American student studying abroad tried to check out 15 books at once. I told her the limit was 8. She said, "My university in California lets me take out 20. Your rules are stifling my ability to learn. This is like something out of a communist country." I explained it was to ensure fairness, but she demanded to see the dean of the library. In a pub in Galway, Ireland, we were watching a hurling final. An American tourist asked the bartender if he could change the channel to an NFL preseason game. The entire pub went silent. The bartender said, "Son, I value my life and the lives of everyone here. I will not touch that remote." The American muttered, "But it's just a bunch of guys running with sticks. Football is a real sport." An American company bought the German firm I worked for. The new CEO from Texas flew in wearing a cowboy hat. He started his speech, "Howdy, y'all. Now I know you Germans are great engineers, but we're here to teach you how to sell. We're going to inject some good old American hustle into this place." The company had been a global market leader for 50 years before his even existed. I was at a serene hot spring in rural Japan. The rules of silence were posted everywhere. An American family came in treating it like a public pool. The dad started a game of Marco Polo. When a staff member politely asked them to be quiet, the mom said, "Oh, we're just having fun." They need to loosen up a little. American-style fun is good for them. My cousin is a doctor in Sweden. An American tourist came into the ER with a sprain. After treatment, he asked, "Okay, where do I pay? Do you take Amex?" The receptionist said healthcare was state-funded. The man got suspicious lest nothing's free. "What's the catch? I'd rather pay and get premium American service." I was on a flight from Madrid to New York. An American woman complained that the in-flight movie selection didn't include a blockbuster. Released a week ago, on U.S. flights we get the newest movies. This is international, it should be better. I pay a lot for these tickets. The attendant explained film licensing. She wasn't convinced. An American visiting our office in India joined us for lunch served on banana leaves. He frowned. "Where are the forks? I'm not an animal." We explained it's traditional to eat with your hands. He refused. "That's unsanitary and backward. Someone just get me a McDonald's burger, at least that comes with utensils." At a cafe in Copenhagen, an American ordered a large coffee. When handed a standard cup, he said, "No." I said large. The barista said, "This is our large." The American laughed. "This is a medium at best, Isasa. Your sizes are for children. Pour 2 of these into 1 cup. Let me show you a real large." I worked at a hostel in Barcelona during the running of the Bulls Festival. An American guest asked how to get there. I said it's a 4-hour train to Pamplona. He said, "But it's the Spain Festival, why not have it in the capital?" "That's just bad planning." My friend is a tailor on Savile Row, London. An American executive came in for a bespoke suit. After being measured, he said, "Okay, I'll need this by tomorrow afternoon." The tailor explained it takes weeks. The man scoffed. "Weeks? I can get one overnighted from Amazon. You guys should learn from us, speed is everything." I was on safari in Tanzania. A Californian woman kept asking, "Can we get closer to the lions? I need a good selfie." The guide said it was dangerous. She sighed. "This is so regulated." At the San Diego Zoo, they let you get way closer. An American family moved into the apartment above me in Berlin. The dad said, "Sunday is football day. We'll be loud." I reminded him about Germany's quiet hours. He said, "You have laws against fun on Sundays. That's the most un-American thing I've ever heard." I was working at a bookstore in Edinburgh. An American tourist asked, "Do you have this in American? I don't want to translate all the weird words like we and lass." He meant American English, but still I had no words. My cousin was bartending in rural Australia. 2 American backpackers asked, "What time does the kangaroo show start?" They genuinely thought every outback town had a daily wildlife performance. On a tour of the Colosseum in Rome, an American asked, "Which company has the naming rights now, Coca-Cola Colosseum or something?" The guide said, "It is sponsored by the Roman Empire, sir." An American colleague transferred to our Seoul office. He was shocked the company didn't close for the 4th of July. "It's Independence Day. Why is everyone working?" HR had to explain it's not a global holiday. He grumbled about lack of patriotism all week. At a market in Marrakesh, an American haggled over a leather bag. The vendor gave a final price. The man said, "Okay, but what's that in real money?" The vendor replied, "Sir, the Moroccan dirham is real money. It is the money of my country." A friend teaches in France. An American student turned in essays formatted for U.S. letter paper. When marked down, he argued, "Letter is the standard. A4 is some weird European thing. You should adapt to the global standard Americas." An American visiting our software office in India saw the team take a 30-minute tea break. He said, "These breaks kill productivity. In Silicon Valley, we eat at our desks." The manager replied, "Our team is the most productive in the company." At a hotel in Cairo, an American on the balcony said, "The pyramids are amazing, but it's a shame about the location. They should have built them further out, ruins the vibe." He thought the city was built after the pyramids. In a small Italian village, an American yelled taxi at random cars. A local said they didn't have taxis. The man groaned. Every city in the world has taxis. Why make everything so complicated? My sister was a ski instructor in the Swiss Alps. An American client complained that the ski runs weren't organized properly. In Aspen, we have color signs and English names. It's a safety issue. He believed his system was the only logical one. At a pub quiz in Liverpool, the question was, "What's the capital of Australia?" An American confidently said, "Sydney." When corrected to Canberra, he argued, "No, that's wrong. I'm American, I know this stuff." An American in our London office saw we use 24-hour time. What's with this military time? Just use AM and PM like normal people. We had to explain his system was actually the odd one. At a historical site in Greece, an American said, "I can't believe there's no AC in here." You'd think they'd install it by now. He was talking about the Parthenon. An American exchange student in Sweden was shocked our entire grade came from the final exam. "Where's the extra credit? How am I supposed to pass if I have one bad day?" He couldn't process a different educational philosophy.